So same bans.
Yep. And what's it going to be for the ROX Tigers?
Now, they banned Tom Kench and Corky in addition to Rise. They're going to ban the Corky, so Tom Kench still available. They think they can deal with that from Duke.
And Quinn's still up too, and even though they did lose, Smeb had a great game on Quinn overall.
Yeah, just couldn't quite make it work in the end, and he couldn't get through Bengi, whose job it was to deal with the Quinn for most of that game. Poppy, once again, the first round of the draft, they take that champion.
Yeah, Elise taken away from Bengi this time, but he's not going to have any problems at all playing the Rek'Sai. Alistar grabbed as well for the ROX Tigers. So what are the next two picks going to be for SKT? Do you go for your AD carry here?
You take jungle and then either AD carry or support, depending on what you want.
So Rek'Sai and then what?
You can take Kalista here, for sure. And I think you take Rek'Sai Kalista.
Bang's Kalista is really, really good.
And just go for the same thing, though. It worked for you in game number 1. You were able to outscale. I would be a little bit nervous about that, considering how the flow of the game went. But again, it is a flex pick. Faker can play mid lane Ezreal. He's a very good Ezreal player.
Yeah, it is still a bit of a flex pick, despite that amazing performance by Bang in game number 1.
Really weird to see SKT's draft in this series. They want the Ezreal so badly. Part of it is to take it away from Prey, who actually has been playing it a lot recently too.
Oh boy.
And the Fiora and the Kalista could be the takeaways here. Opting for a different style of split push, not perhaps getting enough out of the Quinn pick, but there we go. Interesting that they would show that so early on.
Yeah. Well, Smeb is just such a good Fiora player. Prey is such a good Kalista player that, you know, I suppose they're not too worried. And they want to leave that mid pick for last. I think they want to really see where that Ezreal's going before they decide what they're going to give to Kuro.
Yeah, and in the last fight, had they had the Fiora instead of the Quinn, at least in team fights, he could have actually just riposted a lot of those cocoons and just walked right past Bengi, the crowd control.
True.
So maybe he's looking for a reliable way to get past the peel and onto Bang after seeing that Ezreal.
Well, that's another thing Fiora can do, is she can keep up with Ezreal's arcane shifts too. So suddenly Bang's not going to have as easy of a time escaping.
He also just block his skill shots, right? Because most of his damage is going to be coming through his abilities.
Sure.
So here we go.
Are we going to see, I was going to say,
Lissandra.
Echo would be strange, but looks like Lissandra may be the pick again, so going for basically the same thing.
Just switching out, at least for Rek'Sai.
Yeah.
Thought we'd see something a little bit more exciting, but SKT made it work in game number 1. It's clearly a composition they've practiced extensively just based on their team fighting.
I think game 1 ended up pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's really interesting that they came in with this strategy tonight. Again, the priority on Ezreal is a denial against Prey, who is, I mean, he and Bang are just both excellent Ezreal players. And with the emphasis that the Tigers had previously put on that, they decided, okay, we're going to ban the Victor and we're going to take away the Ezreal. So some of the comfort picks from the Tigers, they're just not getting. They give Gorilla his Alistar, however, which is a major comfort pick for him, and the TF.
Ooh, okay. We haven't seen Kuro play TF in a long time, but he's played it a lot in the past, and it will be again. This game, the Twisted Fate picked up for Kuro.
Trying to snowball the side lanes. He has good pressure, lots of crowd control, especially if he works with Peanut to arrange some of these ganks, just getting a gold card into a cocoon or vice versa.
You know, this is interesting, though. I mean, because one of TF's weaknesses is getting pushed back and losing his turret early. Do you think Faker can do that on Lissandra? Seems like it'd be pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the pressure, and he will have some kill pressure. It's not as, the Rek'Sai Lissandra combo is not as bad as the Elise Lissandra combo in terms of kill pressure. But Kuro actually is not going to be going for the cleanse this game. Instead, wants to go for more movement summoners with the Ghost. So they'll be down a TP again, but they will have the TF ult to make up for it.
Going to old school Dade style here.
Gonna Dade it.
Back when Dade was good.
I miss those days, Doa.
Me too.
I wish Dade was still good.
I don't think SKT misses those days, though.
That's true. They probably don't.
I think Dade flash. All right, welcome once again. ROX Tigers taking on SK Telecom. This crowd is insane tonight, which is great.
It is great. Everybody jamming here into the studio
Yeah.
to watch this very epic best of 3. Hopefully we get a game as good as the first one.
Well, the last time we saw these two teams play together was in Berlin.
Yeah.
Here they are back in Seoul, South Korea again, fighting for the top spot in Champions.
The rivalry between these two teams is getting so great too. I mean,
It
they're
is.
facing off in the spring finals of last year, facing off in the World Championship finals, both having very long win streaks in respective seasons. Of course, the beginning of last year, the Tigers did go undefeated through the first round robin, and SKT only dropped one best of 3 in the entire summer season.
Yeah.
Typically, though, SKT has had the Tigers' number. They have a much better win percentage against the Tigers. The Tigers have actually only ever won 3 games against SKT. And
Wow, that's true.
2 of them were in the 2-0 at the beginning of last year. And then one of them was in the World Championship finals. And now Wolf is walking into Brescia.
He's going to take a lot of damage too. Drops that pillar. Takes a lot of damage, but doesn't have to use those summoners. It was pretty close, though.
Yeah, he was checking, but they actually didn't start the Krug, so just gets caught instead.
It was a nice little trick by the Tigers, I think. They knew he'd come and check.
Well, they also knew that, again, SK Telecom was going to want that lane swap, which they got last game, which really did help out Bang not lose a bunch of CS in the laning phase by being denied. They also get the Fiora into Poppy matchup. So, interesting times down in the bottom lane.
Yeah. Smeb so far really hasn't failed too much on Fiora yet, but this is a matchup that we haven't seen him try.
Yeah, that's true.
Should be cool. I mean, traditionally, SKT has kind of been the ROX Tigers kryptonite, but I feel more than ever, even despite the loss, this is the best chance the Tigers have had to take out SKT.
Yeah, in a long time, ever since the beginning, maybe about a year ago. It's been quite a long time since the Tigers would have been considered favorites.
Wow, Mickey taking some hits from Peanut, but this is what he likes to do. Peanut loves to get in there and fight the other jungler as soon as possible.
Peanut doesn't need wards when he can see you and
Nope.
auto you in the face.
Doesn't need to worry about it when he's actively trying to kill you constantly. It's the battle ward. Oh, there's a non-battle ward. He's like, all right, I'll be back.
Yeah, but he would never buy one. He just places it with his trinket.
Exactly. Yeah, you need money for damage items. Seems obvious to me.
Okay, so Peanut's still waiting here. Looks like they may want to early dive onto Duke and try and really push this advantage so they can get a snowball into their split push.
Right.
Girl coming down too.
Yeah, there's going to be a big dive onto Duke. And they dove him last game. Worked out. Teleport
missed the
coming
cocoon.
in for Faker. Yeah, and suddenly Peanut trapped against the wall. Teleport canceled. Peanut takes a lot of damage. Flash gold card. They're going in again on this. Duke may still go down, and it'll be first blood going to Smeb. And that is exactly what SKT did not want to have happen.
I mean, Duke played that well to deny the initial gank, but then he stayed too far forward, and they didn't count on the early Twisted Fate roam to get down there. By the way, Kuro did switch to Cleanse at the end, which I think is probably a smart idea.
I see that now.
Versus the Lysandra, so he did change his summoners at the last possible second. And now we see that early dive. They get the kill onto Duke, and look at Smeb really starting to take an advantage. Both top laners TPing down, both flashless at the moment, and a lot of deep wards. Now they're very confident that Gorilla and Prey will be able to handle themselves in this matchup. And as well they should be.
Should be able to, right?
Definitely a big advantage here for the Tigers duo lane, so giving Smeb the early help is valuable. And with Kuro making a roam and getting an assist, even before he gets his ultimate, it's pretty huge, and they baited out Faker's TP and then hit him right again afterwards. Smart play.
We're able to get his boots of swiftness out of that. Smeb just buys a pickaxe, so it's going to be more roaming for the mid lane, just like they wanted, and a lot of early damage for Smeb in the 1v1.
Kuro doing a good job of holding on to the mid lane so far and finding opportunities to make plays elsewhere on the map.
Yeah. And he's got a big CS lead too. Smeb has managed to turn that right away into a huge edge. Looks like Bengi wants to try to make something happen, but there is a ward there. Yep. And now they're going to collapse onto Bengi. Peanut's right there. Flash Cocoon doesn't hit. Peanut getting aggressive. They get the slow with their post, but Bengi should get away. Yeah, still had his summoner.
Yeah, Peanut, overeager, does have to blow his flash a little bit unnecessarily to follow that up. When the tunnel cooldown's still up and Bengi has flash, there's just no way you're going to hit that. So,
yeah,
not a good choice there by Peanut.
It was a very Peanut thing to do, though.
It's surprising, though, that Peanut has missed 2 cocoons so far, because last week when they played against Longzhu, especially in game number 2, Peanut just went off mechanically and was killing everybody all over the map, hitting seemingly all of his skill shots, using Repel just beautifully.
Well, as long as he hits the one in the team fight later that they need him to, he can miss a couple early on.
The one on the bang.
Exactly, yeah. If he hits the one on the bang and then that follows into a gold card, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, I like the approach that the Tigers made. So they're playing against basically the same team composition, but instead this time they have additional forms of crowd control in the cocoon. They have a targeted follow-up in the gold card. They did have polymorph in the last game, but the difference is that Kuro on Lulu was always stuck in the front line, right? This time he can actually port directly in for a flank and make sure that the stun lands onto Bang so that they can actually deal with him.
Yeah.
So I like the adjustments the Tigers have made. They have a different style of team fighting that is more reliable to actually shut down Bang, and they have a 1-3-1 split push that is not going to be able to be answered by SKT. So they really made some nice adaptations between games, and SKT just gave them the same comp again. So we'll see if ROX can beat them and set it to a game 3.
You know, it seems like they have set themselves up to be able to do a lot of skirmishing too, which do you think spread Bang's playing a little bit too thin in team fights?
Yeah, exactly.
Have to worry about all
they
that?
really late game have that one source of damage.
Yeah.
And they have to team fight. So SKT will be needing to force plays around Dragon and Baron and constantly threaten those objectives in order to bait the ROX Tigers into playing SK Telecom's game.
Yeah. Well, Gorilla and Prey push back for the moment anyway, but biggest steal ever. And they just want to try to do as much damage to this turret as they can.
And actually, it's impressive that they've been able to do this well in the laning phase. Prey and Gorilla playing pretty far back. They have managed to acquire a bit of a CS lead, but they know they've been playing cautiously because look how much Smeb has been pushed up so far this game in the 1v1, and all of the wards have been going to that side of the map. And Peanut's help has been going down to that side of the map. Now they're going to switch over and take that brew buff. But it's all about this huge lead that Smeb has gotten and their ability to play around that matters most to the Tigers, because that is the one thing SKT doesn't have an answer for, is a super fed Fiora.
Yeah, and already at 840, they're about 1,500 gold ahead. It's pretty impressive. Kuro in trouble. They're going to go after him. There's the slow from the pillar. Kuro turns around. Gold card onto Wolf. A little bit more damage. Kuro not even needing to burn his flash. Did have to use his cleanse to get out of that, though.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what the cleanse is for, is for
Yep.
getting out of those situations without dying or having to use other summoners. So nice little turnaround.
That's what it's for. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's the TP coming in. Gold card. I think he landed that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I thought maybe hit the dragon at some point. Bengi forced a flash out of there. And they'll take it.
Yep, free flash.
Yep.
And they put some pressure down onto the Dragon. They're not in a position to do it yet with everyone down on the bottom side of the map, actually. And now a TP up into the top side for Duke, but he's going to be without that now, and Smeb will just casually saunter back into top lane to catch this wave.
Yeah. He's got the CS lead anyway. Not going to really lose it.
Oh, he's going to take it.
Okay.
Huh. Really valuing that CS advantage that he has acquired. And
you think overvaluing possibly?
well, it depends on if they wanted to make a play or not.
Uh-oh, Faker with the ult down onto Kuro. Kuro in a lot of trouble as Duke comes down, and there's a kill for SK Telecom. I guess that was just the W Faker used, actually.
Yeah, he flash W'd right there. That
Yeah.
was a really nice flash W. So Kuro obviously playing a little bit disrespectfully because the Faker's ult was down. But they caught him anyway with the use of the flash after his cleanse had already been used. And Duke with a good roam. He knew Smeb had just come back into the top side with the teleport, so he used that little bit of a window to come down and pick up SK Telecom's first kill of the game. And it's huge that it went on to him too, because he's the one who's really hurting for money.
Yeah. On top of that, Bengi gets into the enemy jungle, takes a red buff, it looks like. We'll see if SKT can turn that into more.
Early boots of swiftness here actually onto Prey. Interesting pickup considering that probably could have gotten a little bit more there to continue pushing an advantage in this matchup, but just wants to dodge some of these skill shots presumably that are coming in.
Yep.
And this time Bang is actually going for the Sheen first, so I like to see that. A little bit of a change right there. Prioritizing that Iceborne Gauntlet instead of going directly into the pickaxe. But again, last game it could have just been a recall timing thing where he didn't have enough money for a Sheen.
Could have been. Oh, Kuro getting jumped on by Faker again. Here comes Bengi. There's the ult now onto Kuro, and he is not going to make it out of this. A kill for Faker, and suddenly Kuro getting camped a bit in the mid lane.
Well, Faker's playing this lane matchup incredibly well.
They want to make a play. Faker TP's down, gets pushed back by Gorilla, makes it through anyway with the E. Bengi is going to go right over the wall to get the knock-up onto Prey, and I don't think he's going to get out. Nope. Another kill for SK Telecom. That one going to Bengi. Peanut steals the blue buff, but SK Telecom finding a lot of edges here already. Smeb dueling with Duke.
But they're still behind in gold, Doa.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that the ROX Tigers have managed to get this big 50 CS lead in the top lane, and they have the CS lead just out of the pure 2v2 due to the poor matchup for Ezreal in the laning phase.
Yep.
So it's basically just been a game of catch-up, and now we're back to even.
Uh-oh, and now we may be been to a little bit less than even as Duke is going to get dove yet again. Throws Peanut back against the wall. Here comes Bengi to help him out. Teleport comes in. Kuro with the gold card onto Bengi. Luckily, he made it through his tunnel before it took effect, so they weren't able to pursue that. But kill for both sides. Actually, Smeb went down during that too.
Yeah, Smeb did go down during that after getting the kill.
Yeah.
So it looked like the grand challenge was popped, but the healing just not quite enough. He was actually tanking that instead of Peanut. Peanut again missing a cocoon. He has not been on point with his skill shot accuracy in the second game of the evening.
Faker getting a good amount of damage under that turret now, and see what Kuro can do.
Okay, Sheen into pickaxe. Whatever. I'm done with you, Bang. I don't like your build.
Hey.
I like your sweet Ezreal mechanics, but I don't like your build.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, he was the MVP.
He was.
He can tell me to shut up.
Didn't seem to affect him.
I mean, it does affect him, though. That's the thing. It really does affect his ability to wave clear and his disengage ability early in the game, especially against a TF where maybe having that slow field where TF is porting over to you might be worthwhile to have.
Yeah, or you could just lose 3 inhibitors and then kill the whole team.
All right, well,
we'll
do it Bang's way. It's more dramatic anyway, though.
It is. It's much better for watching if you do it Bang's way. I agree.
Bang's just in it for the storyline.
He is. He's just there to
Bang builds
dramatic.
for the drama.
Yep, drama build. Make it exciting.
All right, Smeb snuck into this second brush. Wants to get some damage onto Duke, who has completed his Sunfire Cape. Duke is not, however, falling for it.
Nope.
Bang tries to Prey Seeker steal the blue buff.
Doesn't work. Oh, hi, Ward. Oh, bye, Ward. What?
They don't want to go for that right now because Peanut and Gorilla are all right there. If Bengi had tried to kill that ward, he would have been killed by the collapsing bottom lane of the Tigers. So definitely the better call to leave that one alone for the moment.
Turn. ROX Tigers positioning around Dragon right now. They had the majority of them last game, but it didn't really help. 4-1 at the end of the game in favor of ROX Tigers as far as Dragon stacks went.
Yeah, Faker's been doing such a great job of controlling the Twisted Fate early and abusing the cleanse cooldown. Very nicely done by Faker and Bengi, once again using that synergy that they've developed over many years of competing together.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, everyone likes to talk about Faker, and for good reason too, but Bengi has really been there from the beginning as well and been like the workhorse jungler basically for this team, and really has had arguably one of the most successful careers out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very quietly though.
Not too quietly. You can only do it so quietly when you're a 2-time world champion. And
right, but
like
you know,
4-time champions winner.
But people don't talk about him as much. They talk about Bang, they talk about Piglet, they talk about Faker, right? Bengi kind of gets left to the wayside a bit. It's okay, Bengi. I think you're great.
I mean, he's basically just used for his Trevor sense. Let's be real.
What about before Rek'Sai came out, though? Then what? That was just
his
Nunu,
sight
right?
stone and his Nunu.
Yeah. Hey, it works, you know? Got those world championships.
So Kuro has gone for a Lichbane first here. They're looking to get this split push rolling as soon as possible and start to take objectives with it. That's what you usually see with this kind of Twisted Fate build. Also just the fact that he has the early boots upgrade.
Uh-oh, Faker flash ult onto Peanut, then the knockup comes in from Bengi. Peanut trying to repel away, actually makes it. Faker comes back in though for the kill. Nice dodge. Kuro though, looking for a bit of revenge. A gold card lands, two-shot barrage comes through, there's a kill for Kuro onto Faker. Meanwhile, Smeb on his own gets knocked up as he tries to disengage the fight. Kuro still trying to add damage on, but here comes Wolf. There's the exhaust. Can Gorilla zone enough? Looks like maybe the answer is yes, but it's still a one fight for SK Telecom.
Yeah, and that turnaround, now they got the initial kill right there onto Peanut with the use of the ultimate. Smeb coming through and trying to help out. Bang,
whoa, bang.
So low.
Bengi. Careful, buddy.
Oh, he's still going to go for the red buff.
He's not afraid of no ramblebacks.
He's not. Well, especially when he has his smite up and can get the health back as well.
That
as
helps too.
The ping ward in the brush.
Yeah.
So easy steal. Duke pushes into the top side, denying some farm from Smeb. He is ever so slowly closing that gap, but Bengi comes through once again. 6 participation in 6 kills so far. 303. And they've been doing a number on Kuro. And that burst damage from Lysandra just incredibly high early.
Well, we're seeing Faker be a lot more aggressive this game too. He doesn't need to be the one who peels quite as much this game, it seems like. 1-2. Duke TP's up to the top lane and gets the CS that he's been missing so badly.
Peanut now coming around. Bengi in the jungle. They are going to see him with the
wow.
tremor sense, but here we go. It's
I love
dive
this.
time. Kuro setting up too.
So aggressive. Duke, the ultimate popped on him. He's going to go down very quickly. Grand challenge.
Bengi does not want to be there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Goodbye, Bengi. A kill for Kuro now, but the kill comes in for Faker as he ults himself under turret. A lot of people taking damage. Faker low. Smeb may have it. He will. In the end, it's Gorilla that grabs that one. Get a little bit of bloodthirsty in there. Why not? You deserve it, Gorilla.
This has really been a hallmark of the Tigers' play this season, is them thinking so far in advance to make these plays, and Gorilla just being there very, very early to complete these either vision control missions into the enemy jungle or just this kind of dive. Because look at the setup with Gorilla and Kuro there. Starting out immediately, they kill Duke. Bengi is way too low after doing the Gromp to deal with this and taking the enemy red buff. Faker comes in, tries to slow them up as much as he can, but Gorilla has his ult, meaning he can tank this turret pretty much forever and allow his damage carries the chance to really get in there and turn the fight around. So now we're back to a ROX Tigers lead as they take out the first turret of the game.
Yeah.
And this is where they're going to start to shine. The kills are on the right people. The kills are on their split pushing carries in Twisted Fate and Fiora.
And their support.
And their
is
support.
also important. I like Gorilla with the fade away ignite kill in that last fight. That's what you got to do. Let's ignite and let the data sort him out.
Is that what you say?
That's right. Because, I mean, it's not really a divine entity here. It's more just like the coding in the game that decides it.
Okay.
Dragon time? Nobody's gotten one yet.
No really early attempts at the Dragon. There haven't been that many opportunities, and both of these teams have been trying to play around dives, really. Faker and the rest of SK Telecom know that ROX's main job here is to try and get advantages in the side lanes. And so they've been saving a lot of their TPs to play around that.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Oh, Korean Lysandra.
Rift Squatter.
He just couldn't take it anymore. He's like, this game is too sick.
It's been another good one so far.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go. This split push is going to become quite dangerous. Ezreal just not able to hang in there any longer. That'll be another turret going down for the Tigers as their lead begins to mount.
Yeah. But after last game, I feel like it's not over till it's over, you know? They are going to go for the Dragon now, it looks like.
Faker got the components for a death cap and then decided to switch gears into a Zhonya's.
Probably a good idea.
needs that little bit of extra tankiness right now to survive. If he had that Zhonya's in that last tower dive, things would have been a lot different for SKT.
Very true.
Faker doing a good job of picking up the kills and holding on to the mid lane, though. Has outfarmed Kuro so far. Is building into the Frost Queen's claim. Gives him just so much utility.
Yeah.
Able to see people with his ultimate, able to see people with the claim.
Well, TF with a slow is very scary to think about.
Oh yeah, easy way to catch up. And that's one of the reasons why Twin Shadows was great on TF even before that active was moved over to Frost Queen's claim. And still going to be strong now, but nice job from SKT. Easy take on the mid turret.
Yep.
That makes it a lot harder for Kuro to try and get some ganks.
So Aegis picked up for Peanut. It's going to help mitigate a bit of the damage coming in from Faker. And a little bit from Bang too, I suppose. A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay.
Not much.
So everybody just retreating right now. And it looks like this might be the Tigers' chance to go for the dragon.
Could be. There's a ward in there, so SK Telecom knows about it.
Yeah, they have Juke bottled in up top, so this is the right time. You've got the pressure.
Yep, looks like they'll get it though. Bang trying for the true shot ROX, a little bit late. And first strike of the game goes over to the ROX Tigers.
Yeah, Smeb now on the run down to the bottom side of the map. So ROX beginning to take a look at this mid lane. They haven't actually transitioned TF into the side lane yet, which is a bit interesting, but nobody here to defend right now. Benki and Faker making it back in time.
Yep.
Uh-oh, where they go?
Oh, Kuro using his ult to get the backlines. Wow, they killed Bang so fast we didn't even see it. Gorilla comes in for a nice headbutt pulverize, and now the ROX Tigers all over SKT. Bengi goes in, but without a lot of support. Duke comes in, he just turns around. It's like, nope, oh, but the ROX Tigers, they want a piece of Duke too. Faker comes in, locks people up with the W. Gorilla taking that turret hits, and Duke just trying to make something out of nothing here, but the Tigers are gonna have none of it. They will have the mid lane turret though.
Just a really nice team fight to watch there. So actually in the end, Smeb, while they continue to deal damage, I thought that they were going to switch the aggro over to Gorilla, but Smeb was just standing on the outside of the turret damage and tanking it because Gorilla had already used his ultimate, so just really maximizing the amount of diving and damage that they were able to do. And this all started with Peanut. Hey, you finally hit a cocoon. Oh,
good
Bang,
one to hit.
just taking a giant chunk, and Kuro used that opportunity, flashes forward, there's the gold card for the finisher on that kill, and then everybody from the Tigers just piling in, really using that ult just a little bit early, but that's all right. And then finishing it off, so double kill right there. Now they turn around, now watch Smeb here. Tanking the turret, Gorilla doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so they just wait for the Lissandra ult to go off of Gorilla, and then continue to back off. So Smeb doing a good job, and that's just, the Tigers are just so aware in their team fights of which ults are up, what has been used already, and how they're going to play around these team fights and the objectives.
Yeah, that's a 5,000 gold lead about now for them. Have the turret lead, dragon lead. You know, very similar to what we saw last game, the leads in every category. This time around though, they're definitely much, much better at handling Bang.
That they are, They have the tools for it, and Bang was caught out. They set a trap for him, and he shouldn't have been in that bottom side. They had just taken the dragon out, right? So you have to assume that as they take the dragon out and then move into the mid lane as the natural place to pressure, that they're going to have somebody, at least vision, and if not a person in that bottom side jungle to try and catch you, and Bang just walked right into the trap.
Yeah. So SK Telecom going to need to be even more careful now than they were before. But last game happened, so you can never count SKT out.
Well, I think that the Tigers have a much better composition to deal with what SKT is throwing at them. Not that they had a bad one in the last game by any means, but this is a really good one to keep the Ezreal under control. They also did slow down the Ezreal in the laning phase this time. Smeb is on a champion where he has an insane advantage right now in terms of farm and his gold.
Yep.
Take a look at the vision from both teams right here. As you can see, forward vision much more developed for the Tigers right now.
That's right. And it kind of seems like we're in another one of those positions where, unless something occurs with the split push, we're kind of in a holding pattern until the dragon comes up again.
Well, that's the advantage they hope to acquire, and now they've actually set it up. TF finally in the side lane. You see they're trying to find this Poppy, and you know what? Kuro's going to discover him right away.
So that's what Frost Queen's claim does. It just shows you where people are.
It's really nice that for the Tigers they took out the mid turret, because now they can really just start pressuring all 3 lanes at once and force SKT into some awkward situations. And Smeb against Faker, because he wants to be able to riposte a stun or a root and then transfer that into a kill.
Certainly possible. I would say Smeb is probably the best Fiora player we've seen yet.
Really hard to riposte a Lissandra ult, though. Super hard.
He's riposted some pretty hard to riposte stuff, though.
Just something you have to predict coming. You just can't do it reactively.
Well, 1 minute until the next dragon. ROX Tigers should be trying to set up a bit of vision around it, but they have those deep wards, so they don't need so much around dragon right now. They've got that bottom side jungle really well scouted out.
They can always threaten the Baron.
That too?
They have the TF ultimate up. They will always be able to see what SKT is trying to do. They can split wish with TF and then have him ult back into the pit to finish off a Baron that's already been started. And they have Kalista. No problems. Going to be tanking it.
Yep.
And Bang already. Fast QSS. That's something we didn't see from him last game.
Well, I think he's right in that he will definitely need a lot more this time.
Very good adjustment overall.
Still has a good amount of damage. He'll get more later, and he'll get it faster if he doesn't die, so need that QSS.
Well, they've really run out the clock on a lot of SKT's Baron wards, and is Kalista going to do it? Yeah, the Tigers is going to go for it. This is how you have to play it. This is smart.
Yep, going for that hidden Baron, and there's not a lot that SKT can do.
They waited so long to take this, and now
they
see it, but how are they going to respond?
Two-shot barrage, I guess. Has to be what it is. Here it comes. Yep. And the ROX Tigers just back away from it. So they do stop the Baron. SK Telecom at least getting that in their favor.
That was actually really well done. And there's
Faker.
The TF ult. They really want to try and make a play onto the bottom side now, at least threaten it, but too many people from SKT. Uh-oh.
Zonia's coming in.
No. This is a bad fight for ROX.
Smeb in a lot of trouble. The W does it, but they're going to trade Smeb for the Baron. No, they can't. They have to back away. I think they thought they had an edge because Faker actually used his TP and then canceled it when the ROX Tigers started the Baron before. And I think they took that as their cue to try to dive him, and it did not work out.
Right there, you just try and do the Baron again, right? You have the TP advantage, and you go back onto the Baron and make another attempt at it. Peanut was low. They could have even just had Peanut recall. It didn't really matter. Heal up and then go right back over to the Baron, and instead they're going to give SKT perhaps their first dragon of the game.
Maybe. Kuro is right there. Still
Baker's not there. Duke's not there. Never mind. They can't do it.
Yep.
So they deny it, and they push it forward again. Now they can turn their sights over to the dragon, but they lost all of their vision control around Baron too, so definitely a miscommunication there from the Tigers. They should not have tried to gank Faker. It's way too difficult to do that. Even though Smeb, he thought he could do it with his QSS, just not quite enough yet.
Yep. But Faker without that teleport does put SKT in a little bit of an awkward spot. In fact, it may cost them this dragon. ROX Tigers going for it. They know it's not happening now, and they'll get it. So ROX Tigers, despite the little misstep, able to get that second dragon after all.
But it's a second dragon at 30 minutes into this game, Noah, so...
Something.
The scaling here, it's not very realistic for them to get 5 dragons.
Still better than letting SKT get their first.
That's
dragon
very
is
true.
A big deal.
That is very true. So, but the Tigers now, they have to set up around this Baron yet again. They need to keep moving on this. They lost the Scuttle Crab right there. Or they have to start actually engineering a better split push and continue to snowball this game, because they're getting into the territory where Bang is going to be able to go nuts again like he did in the last game.
It was impressive to watch, but I don't think ROX Tigers want to see that performance. one more time.
They're not convincing me that they don't want to see that, though. That was
Not
a great shot call
like,
from the Tigers around that Baron.
That was good, but can he do it again? Need to play with fire a little bit.
Yeah, no one really pushing all the way to the tier 2, and now they've moved Bengi over into the side lane. Figaro has his TP back up. So Kuro now trying to push out, but SKT holding control over the Baron and the middle.
Yep.
Smeb has to do something down here. He's got to make this work. He has to start getting turret damage.
Oh, he's going to just... Thought he was going to go for the Krugs there, but yeah, he has to walk up and just hit that turret, man. Not going to happen, though. Ooh, Gorilla. Big chunk taken out of him by, I would assume, Bang.
He has that red buff now, really starting to hurt.
Yep.
The 3 big core items completed. And Smeb just so afraid that he has the vision to move up on this Poppy, and Poppy really doesn't have too much damage, especially with the lifesteal that Smeb's going to be putting out, but they are playing very cautiously around the double TP.
Yeah. Smeb can handle Duke by himself on that Poppy, but he cannot handle Faker and Poppy together.
Yeah, there's no way for the TF to get down to him either from cross map.
Yeah, the disadvantage of not running that TP on Twisted Fate. Needing to go for that cleanse instead. Can't really disagree with it, but this is one of the weaknesses.
Needing is a strong word. He actually died a couple of times as a result of having it because he used it and then the cooldown was abused.
Sure.
And he hasn't been able to make as many plays, and they can't put on as much pressure as normal.
All right, Smeb's got a big wave now, so see what he can do with it. Faker protecting his turret. I mean, at the moment, ROX Tigers really do have a lot of control over the jungle of SK Telecom, at least. They do have the pressure, and they do have a 6,000 gold lead.
Yeah, but no real commitment. Smeb, it's like a turret shot right here, does do a little bit of dueling, but ends up trading about evenly.
So, you know, do you wait for the next dragon? Do you just make this a really long game, or
you control
try
Baron.
To force a Baron?
Yeah, you force Baron here for sure. You have all of the waves pressured.
SK Telecom has some nice deep wards too, so they can see if the ROX Tigers are thinking about starting up that Baron too.
Well, we talked about it before, but the Tigers are bottom of the league in wards.
Oh man, he missed a cocoon again. Wow.
Just really off, Peanut, today.
Yeah.
But they have the bottom of the barrel in the league out of all teams in wards placed per minute and wards cleared per minute. And their inability to get true vision control around this Baron is hampering their ability to win this game.
It certainly is. Bang just coming over to defend that tier 2. It's taken a decent amount of damage. Now, here we go again. 2 minutes until Dragon.
I guess the ROX Tigers, their plan is just to slowly whittle away at these towers at tier 2 and never fight. They should be very concerned about what Bang can do to them at this point in time, just like he did in the last game in some of these later team fights.
Do you think maybe there's an impression from the ROX Tigers that they went overboard a little bit last game and got beaten for it, so now trying to play a bit more passively?
I think that was an issue, and I think now they're scared of doing Baron because of what happened in the last game, even though they don't necessarily have to be yet. They can at least just force some teleports out or whatever. And their strategy seems to be push up the waves, wait 3 minutes for all the wards to go away, and that's the way they're gaining vision control. It's called natural ward clearing.
I guess so, yeah. Just wait it out, you know?
Just wait until the green wards go away.
Let nature take its course.
They'll clear out the pink wards, that's fine, but...
Bang's in a recall in a ward, and nearly gets caught for it. Gotta be careful. Dragging up in a little bit less than a minute, so losing anyone now for either team would be meaning a dragon lost as well.
All right, Smeb has gotten a fifth of this tower's HP down.
Quite the split push.
The potency of this split push is incredible.
Needs a little bit more.
This is not the time.
Okay, well, they're going to go for the Baron, and SK Telecom, let's see what they can do to stop it. Teleport coming in, Smeb wanting to join it, Faker right there. Wolf and Bengi on the scene. And Bengi getting pushed out. Smeb going to turn around onto Faker. Two-shot barrage comes through. Baron taken by the ROX Tigers. Smeb very low already. Faker keeps himself safe. There goes Smeb. Prey in a lot of trouble. SK Telecom with the kill. Faker gets another one. Bengi with, or Bang rather, with the double. And SK Telecom punishes that Baron hard.
That is such a random timing to do the Baron. Out of all the times, they started when there was a pink ward. Now, they thought they had an opportunity because Bang was back in base, right? Which does make sense, but he's able to close that gap very quickly. And the Tigers just can't do it fast enough. They use a TP to get into the pit, to try and burn it down, but then they get trapped there, and Bang is just able to clean up because Faker can stall you for so long.
Oh yeah, wow, flash, knock up onto Kuro. Kuro throws a gold card, but against 3 people, it's not going to help. Enjoy your last seconds of life. Bang missed a 2-shot barrage for the finisher. Meanwhile, Peanut takes Dragon 3, so he's got that going for him at least. But they're going to lose the Tier 2 turret and maybe some more too.
Yeah, they can definitely take this Tier 2. Whether or not they should be able to take the inhibitor, but Tiger's starting to respawn.
Yeah, Smeb's up in 3 seconds. Oh, there's Cocoon onto Duke. Duke getting a bit low. Nice knockup from Gorilla. That's a lot of harassing. Yeah, here comes the rest of them. Prey, Smeb up again. They use Fate's Call to pull Gorilla to safety, and they're going to at least save the inhibitor for now. Bang cocooned. Oh wow, Smeb going in. Faker trying to save his AD carry. Smeb ducks out of there. Bengi with the ultimate on top of him. Smeb pops it. So that's a kill for the Coup Tigers as they pursue SK Telecom down the mid lane. SKT trying to get away.
He has flash.
He does. He could flash Cocoon, waiting for that arcane shift. There it is. They get him. They knew exactly what they're looking for, and there's a kill onto Bang. Nicely played by Peanut, waiting for that cooldown to be used. Bang with no flash was vulnerable, and they're going to go. They're going to dive the turret. Faker with the W. Smeb goes ahead and cleanses that. They're going to turn around for the Tier 2 turret. So ROX Tigers making something out of it at least.
Wow, that was a really crazy turnaround actually.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Doa, they still have Baron buff.
Yep, they certainly do. Hard to forget with those giant minions. And now it's going to be the ROX Tigers taking the inhibitor instead of SK Telecom.
Wow, what a back and forth series it has been. These games have been absolutely crazy. The turnaround, you saw how early Gorilla decided to engage right there.
Yeah.
Before any of his allies were really back up, he had such confidence that they were going to be able to turn that around and they were going to catch up. And now the Tigers take 2 turrets at the end of the day and take an inhibitor as they fight SK Telecom all the way down the mid lane and back to their base.
Yeah, check this out. Waiting for that arcane shift. Came.
Oh,
nice,
so good. That makes up for all the ones he missed earlier.
It really does. He hit the one that counted.
Yeah, no mana there either.
Yeah.
And they try and keep diving right here. Not going to quite hit the mark with the Frost Nova and Faker's ability just to vanish from that engagement from Smeb, but they get, what, 3 turrets out of that.
3 turrets and an inhibitor, yeah. And a kill onto Bang and Bengi. So, yeah, I'd say it worked out pretty well. They've got a nice, what is it, 7,000 gold lead now.
Yeah, Gorilla trying to go into the Frozen Heart too, so everybody doing their part to shut it down. Smeb has purchased his Guardian Angel. And I said this last game, but this looks like it'll probably be the end for SK Telecom.
You never know. I mean, all they need, as we've seen, is just that one good team fight where they can protect Bang, get him rolling, he gets another quadra kill. But this time, with this comp, you've got Fiora and Twisted Fate coming into your back line, and it's really hard to protect an Ezreal against that.
Yeah, it's a lot different. A lot different this time around. Plus, the Fiora now is extremely fed. Poppy is not going to be able to stop it. Nearly 6 items. And going to be doing an insane amount of damage in conjunction with the fact that they have the super minions pushing already. Peanut is now here.
Yep. Duke trying to defend the top lane turret. Faker will use the Frost Queen's claim to slow some people down, but meanwhile in the bottom lane.
Yeah, SKT has to fall back off of this one.
I think so. Two-shot barrage will push ROX Tigers back for a moment.
Actually, Bengi had a nice angle on that, so he did push them back off by positioning on the top side and threatening the engage.
Yep.
Even though Duke has his TP, Faker does not.
Just doing a little bit more damage to that turret. They don't have a lot of wards right in the immediate jungle, so they can't be totally sure that SKT isn't coming in.
Well, but
actually they can. Never mind.
they see them from the super minions in the way that they're defending their base.
Correct. Turret nearly down. The siege continues. Split push up in top lane from Smeb, still continuing as well.
You see these bloodthirsters on the Tigers really doing work. Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go. On to Duke there. Faker trying to find him, but Smeb makes it out. And that's going to be the turret. Cocoon onto Bengi, but hit him right at the beginning of that tunnel, so he'll be okay.
Here we go. TP into the mid side from Kuro.
Interesting. Gonna use the ultimate.
I think he wanted to use it just for vision and to maybe see if he could make a play, and then had nowhere else to go, so you might as well just come there and.
Yeah, minute 30 until Dragon and Baron.
Yeah, it could be an interesting conundrum. Tigers have to play very carefully, but fortunately for them, they can, be able to do it by himself or Prey or even Smeb.
Yep.
There shouldn't be any issues about taking this. Big shot coming through on the recalls. Smeb just hanging out with his friend Scuttle Crab. And he stabs to death.
Not a very good friend, is he?
You gonna be friends, Noah?
Not that kind of friend. At 2 Monte.
Right in the back.
I saw it coming from so far away.
We have to wait for the Ides of March for that one, though, Noah. It's not quite time yet.
My birthday's in March. I don't like those Ides.
You're not a fan of the Ides of March?
No. Isn't that like the 13th or something?
It's usually like the 13th or the 15th.
Usually early March. My birthday's in
mid
March.
Mid-March.
I can avoid the
That's not
the
early.
Ides.
That's not early March.
Hey, if it's before the 15th, it's early.
No, that's not how it works.
It is unless it's February.
All right, Noah. Okay, so Baron coming up. Lots of wards just peppering the jungle from the ROX Tigers.
Yep.
So it looks like they won't be making too convincing a play around this dragon. They may just try and make the trade for the Baron should SK Telecom go for it. All TVs back up for SKT.
And ROX Tigers want to try to take this dragon.
Yeah, they're split right now, though.
Smeb coming down, doesn't want to teleport to get there. They are split, like you said, but Twisted Fate can join the party anytime he wants to. Looking for Smeb, but stay safe. Girl split pushing.
Their inhibitor's back up, so they will have less pressure in the mid lane. They did a good job right there of chasing Smeb off the objective. SK Telecom just staying tightly grouped right now and not giving the Tigers a chance to set up for a dragon or a Baron. They're actually doing a really good job of it.
This is ending up being a very, very tight game so far, already at 43 minutes. And the fight over the dragon begins. This is a big one for SK Telecom. Those stats at this point in the game could make a big difference. And who's going to get it? Baker coming in. We'll see if he decides to engage. Dragon getting a little bit low. Grill trying to push people away. The dragon is taken by the ROX Tigers. Kuro comes in with his ultimate, has that gold card loaded up, but they're just going to disengage.
They invested a lot for that, though. Smeb actually went through with the teleport, so now they're down 1 teleport to 2. They also used Kuro's ult.
SKT running for Baron as fast as they can. They're going for it.
Yeah, they know they have this big advantage.
Yep, that's right, but here comes the ROX Tigers.
Duke.
Yep, Duke getting ready for that ultimate. Smeb gets knocked away. Uh-oh. Baron's got tons of health left, though. Gorilla comes in with a big pulverized. Peanut trying to find somebody. Fate's call. Pulls Gorilla to safety, and they deny the Baron at least.
Yeah, smart disengage there from the Tigers. They only want to prevent the Baron. They don't need to deal with it right now because as long as they delay recalls, well, they're not actually going to go for that mid inhibitor. Faker already managed to recall and get back.
And ROX Tigers, I wonder if we're going to see them put a little bit of Baron pressure on. At least get some more vision anyway.
Well, they had it before, and they still have the deep wards in the enemy jungle, but they're going to use this time to recall and reset. With both teams' mid inhibitors open, like any mistake at this point could easily end this game.
Oh yeah. I mean, Bang is in pretty much the same position he was in game number 1, where he could win that team fight.
You see right now, Prey and Kuro just have so much money.
Yeah. That too. Wow, Faker with 515 CS at 45 minutes. Look at that. What the hell? Over 100 ahead of Kuro. I just noticed that. How did he get that much? Jeez.
Well, Kuro's been porting around the map trying to make plays, and Faker's mostly been on wave clear duty, but even so, that's impressive.
There's a lot of CS for 45 minutes.
Meanwhile, Smeb on the cusp of Flame Horizoning Duke.
Yep.
CS advantage in that
possible.
top lane. He's been playing out his edge quite well.
And it's still really tense right now. Nobody wants the other team to take that Baron, but nobody wants to try to take it because they don't want to lose the game.
Yeah, this is a very cautious situation. And last time SKT won the game by playing around poke from the Ezreal, and now the ROX Tigers with these 4 dragon stacks have another method of victory. So they have a lot more win condition options right now. SKT is basically just playing for team fights and a possible Baron kill, whereas ROX Tigers, they're waiting for their TP to be back up so they can start split pushing again and continuously putting pressure on the objectives.
Pretty much.
But the gold lead is pretty much irrelevant at this stage of the game, as everybody has 6 items.
Not really much more to buy, so it doesn't really matter how much gold everybody has. And this Baron dance could keep going for a while.
Well, it's likely to go, like I said, until Smeb gets his TP up.
Yep.
ROX is just not going to play aggressively until that happens.
That's smart, you can.
And
you really
then,
can.
why would they even play aggressively at all? They can just they can force SKT into much more complex situations where ROX has the benefit of being able to take either Baron or Dragon right now and pretty much give themselves a huge advantage.
Well, the death timers are so long, too, that the risk is not worth it for either side. SK Telecom pushing the mid lane up, though. There's a vulnerable inhibitor in there. But I don't know if they can quite bull rush their way into the base and take it. That'd be pretty tough.
TP back up for Smeb.
Yep. Faker's got his teleport as well.
Uh-oh.
Flanking time. And they're going to try to get in there. Bang has to use that cleanse
Holy
right
cow,
away.
that was such a good cocoon from Peanut. I can't even believe he hit that.
Yeah, getting that QSS out of the way for Bang is big. Peanut takes some damage. Gorilla coming from the side. Now they're going to throw him in there. Big 3-man pulverize. Fate's call may be used. It will be used. There it is. Double 3-man knockup. And they get Bangy right off the bat. Turnaround though. Faker with a big ult. And they could make this work. Bang untouched in the back lines. Wolf gets very low. And ROX Tigers still with the edge. Faker goes down. A kill for Bray. And that is going to be probably the game right there.
Wow, that
Almost
was
certainly
such an intense engage, and the grand challenge going down gave enough heal for the Tigers off of Faker's engage to turn it, and now they're going to close out the game and send us to a third in this best of 3.
Well, we did not expect anything less as Wolf tries to defend his base, but it's not going to help. ROX Tigers taking game 2. We're all tied up. We're going to game 3.
I'm so excited that we're going to see that. We really saw the difference in the Tigers' composition when it came to closing out those late-game team fights. They made really good adjustments during the break, took a game, actually closed it out properly this time when they had such trouble with the Quinn in the last game actually being able to flank. This time, switching out the Lulu for the TF gave them a lot more options, and having Fiora, of course, with a harder split push.
Man, that last engage, though, so good. And Faker did everything he could. I mean, he got in, they did a lot of damage, but in the end, like you said, that grand challenge providing just enough healing. And these are some great games, man. I love it when it's just the tiniest things that mean the difference between victory and defeat.
I mean, you can see how evenly matched these teams are, but
yeah.
SKT, they lost with that same composition. They only switched out their jungler.
Yep.
So do they have another trick up their sleeve for game number 3?
You better believe it. Don't go anywhere, guys. Game 3. We'll be back right after this.